Alright guys, this is another Patreon request. Almost said non-comic lineup, even though that's what it is. And yeah, so this one comes from one of my Patreons, Hunter Johnson, who asked me to do a non-comic lineup of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, for those who don't know what non-comic lineup is basically where I take a comic book team and rearrange it with characters from outside of comics. So no Marvel, no DC, no Image, and just kind of play with it from there. So yeah. As always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon. You guys can start sending me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. Anyway, so let's get started with the non-comic lineup. So obviously, with Guardians of the Galaxy being a big thing, this kind of made sense of being a non-comic lineup. So this one is basically like, which characters could I see on this team? So starting off with the leader. For the leader, I picked Lars from Steven Universe. Why Lars? Because he's actually a competent leader. It turns out that when he was doing his own little Captain Harlock across the galaxy, it turned out he's actually a very competent leader with the Mistcolor gems. It's actually revealed that there is, like, he's actually a competent leader, and I could just see, like, that kind of level of kind of cockiness that he has, that level of kind of like bravado that he has in his in that Captain Lars persona could definitely play as the leader. He could definitely make a great leader for this team. So Lars for this team. Next up, who is our next character? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than Misty. Not Pokemon Misty. I'm talking Misty from My Life as a Teenage Robot. The shadow being that was basically a bounty hunter and turned on Jenny. So Misty is she's basically, if you guys don't remember the show, she was only in like 2-3 episodes, I think. And essentially in there, she was this character who could, like, go intangible. She could possess people and learn their darkest fears. She could do all of that, and also she could make like a gas form. So I could see her being a fun part of this group. I could see her being like just jumping in between like multiple enemies and just kind of just wrecking house left and right. Misty would be a lot of fun on this team. I'd also love the banter between her and Lars. I just imagine those two would be at each other's throats and maybe some make-up sex after that. I just kind of imagine that would happen. Because, of course, Lars is horny and it's space. That's all I can fathom is that, yeah, they would be like, it would be the anime tsundere pairing, right? Anyway, so next up on our on this version of Guardians of the Galaxy, we have the Fugitoid from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Fugitoid would be like definitely the science member of this team. He would definitely be the one who would be like, they'd probably also be using his ship to go around in space. The Fugitoid would definitely be the brains of this outfit. He'd be the one who'd also be like coming up with plans, also looking at things very reasonably, and also I think he would also love to sarcastically undercut Lars every chance he got. And he's like Lars would be like, "Mr. Fugitoid, Warp 3," and he's like, "That is so wrong on so many levels." So Fugitoid would be part of this team. Next up, I thought this would be kind of a fun one, is like the strong member of this team, and that's Igu from the Herculoids. Yeah, we're going classic with this one. Igu would be a lot of fun on this team. He's just this big, hulking rock gorilla who's just roaring and smashing stuff. When something needed to get smashed on this team, it would be like, "Igu, you're up." I can't do the monster voice, and I sound like an idiot. But yeah, he'd just be waving his arms up and down with the stilted animation, just start smashing shit with his fists. So Igu would be pretty fun. I would absolutely love to have Igu would be the strong member of this team. Yeah, he'd be the muscle of this team. Next up, we have for our following member of this team, we have another fun character. I thought it would be they would be a lot of fun to have on this in this group. Probably is the big stoic warrior, and that's the Magna Defender from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. The Magna Defender, when I was thinking of this list, the Magna Defender was that character who I was like, yeah, he would not be. And you may be thinking, why isn't Magna Defender the leader? It would make much more sense if Magna Defender was the leader of the team. Well, the reason why I chose not to have Magna Defender as the leader is more like, he's not a leader per se, he's more of a strong, silent type. He's more like, I'm just going to sit here as the cool douchebag and just kind of criticize Lars every chance I get, and never really step up to being a leader. Because that's what he was in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. He was just kind of like, I'm here, I go. Here's the Toro Zord. Yeah. So that was so Magna Defender would be a lot of help, and also again the Toro Zord I think would definitely come in handy for this team. So there's our there's 5 members right there, and for our last one, I kind of gave it a lot of thought as to who could be our last member of this team. And I thought it'd be, like, I think it'd be a lot of fun just to have this character as kind of like, I'm here and I don't know why. And that's Scooge from Invader Zim. Scooge would be, like, kind of like he'd be like the running gag of the story, where he'd be like, oh, I'm here too. Like, we don't know why Scooge is here either. So, I think Scooge would be a lot of fun to see, just kind of running around, and also, like, reveal that he's really good at, like, engineering or something. That would be a lot of fun. I just kind of thought, why not have a fun character in this team? So I picked Scooge, because no one thinks of Scooge. Anyway, and he's actually revealed to be a competent warrior. Remember the Hobo 13 episode? It turned out, yeah, he's actually, like, he can actually withstand a lot of punishment. So that'd probably be like, they throw, like, Scooge, get out there and check that minefield. Okay. Didn't you die, Scooge? Yeah, but I'm all better now. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is my non-comic lineup for Guardians of the Galaxy. You guys tell me in the comments below who would be on your version of Guardians of the Galaxy. Just comment below, let me know. Once again, I'd like to thank Hunter Johnson for this Patreon request. And like I said, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon where you guys can hit the 4th tier and start sending me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.